let's talk about the next section then.
Yeah, I just want to touch on playing out from the back.
Okay, so
because
which we historically always gives people heart attacks.
Three things you've got to do when playing out from the back to be successful at it. One, your team need to be very well drilled where to position themselves at the start of playing out from the back, so as soon as the goalie gets the ball. Number two, you need players that technically have got a good first touch and a really good pass. Because you've got to move that ball quick, under control, to another player.
And awareness as well. You have to be aware where everyone is.
Awareness will come if everyone's drilled correctly where to position themselves. Right. And the third thing is, you've got to do it quick. You've got to do it with pace. You can't delay. You can't take 2 seconds to think, right, what should we... No, you've got to do it quick.
Got to know what you're doing.
Because if you play a team that presses you, you won't get out the press. The reason a press works is because you're shut down quick. You've never heard of a slow press, have you?
No, that doesn't work.
So if you're going to play out from the back, you've got to do it quick to beat the press. Now, I've seen it a couple of times, and against Southampton, it was classic, right? Because Southampton did press us quite well. So this is a typical team that's positioned itself to play out from the back, right? The goalie's got the ball in the middle of the goal. You've got the two wide areas, the wing backs, and then you've got the two centre backs. My problem is here the positioning of the centre backs. They're standing literally on the edge of the
6-yard box.
6-yard box, yeah. Thanks, Jim. Now, what I've done is I've drawn some arrows to show you where they should be if you're going to play out from the back quick and do it well. The reason you want them to be further back on the byline is you buy yourself an extra couple of seconds because you're increasing the distance from the Southampton player that's about to press you if the ball comes to you. You're not allowed to stand in the penalty box on a goal kick. So Southampton's players are positioned where? Just outside the box. So increase the distance from where the Southampton player is to where you, the player who's going to receive the ball from the goalie is, and you buy yourself those extra couple of seconds, and it just takes a bit of pressure off you playing out from the back and beating the press. So I'm going to go on to the next slide. Everyone watching the show, guys, please bear with me because this one does look a bit of a mess. I will explain it to you, all right? So the red circles are the centre-backs of Tottenham.
Where they should be.
That's the red filled-in circles.
Sorry, this, got
so
you.
The small filled-in red circles is where I said they should be. I've then circled in blue where the press will come from. Look at the distance in terms of arrows. So I'm just showing you, look, by being further back, the distance is further. You're buying yourself more time. And then I've circled in purple the Spurs players. By positioning the centre-backs on the byline, you're then taking the pressure off of the Spurs players in purple. The wide player, you're taking the pressure off him because I can get the ball to him quicker before the press reaches him, whether we go left or right. And the two purple circled Spurs players in the holding mid-roll, as the press comes in, those two players in the pink, they can shift left or right, depending where the press comes from. And I, on the ball, I can, rather than going out wide, I've now got the option, I can play it into the middle. I can play it to those players. So just by moving those two centre-backs 10 yards, 5 yards, however far it is back, you begin to buy yourself time, you make the press a bit harder for the other team, and you take a bit of pressure off all those players in pink. And that small detail, Sim, increases your ability to play out from the back effectively.
And especially when you have someone like Sanchez, who isn't the most comfortable passer, and especially isn't the most comfortable when he is being pressed, and he does lack a bit of composure on the ball. Those extra few seconds could be crucial when he's looking to find an option when he's being passed out short.
1 second is the difference between a mistake and getting away with it, or doing something correctly. And you always want to buy yourself, especially the Premier League, like we just discussed, it's a very quick league. If you can buy yourself a couple of seconds of time on the ball, it changes everything. Intelligent players, they know how to buy themselves time just by where they position themselves. Teddy Sheringham was a classic. Ericsson was excellent at it. I don't understand why the centre-backs in those two positions. I mean, the goalie's got the ball. Why does the goalie need to pass the ball 2 metres to the right or left? Surely he can just pass it out wide himself. Why pass to a centre back to then pass it wide? Just pass
Just
it
pass
wide. Then.
wide, yeah. Well,
So-
Lloris is not the best passer either.
Again, another problem. He's not good at distributing the ball from the back. Just drop the centre backs there and there.
That's all.
Let the press work harder.
Do you think we have the players at centre back to be a very good playing out from the back
Nope.
kind of team?
No. If we had Vertonghen, Romero, and Toby, my God, wow,
It would be a very different story.
wow, yeah. Although we'd still have to sort out the wing backs. Ben Davies is always. I mean, you saw that clearance that he tried to make against Wolves. It was
Yeah, it's
shocking.
terrible. And the problem is we don't have those players, and we also don't have particularly the best players to go long either.
I think Romero and Dyer have shown they can play a decent long pass.
No, I mean, if you're playing, the goalkeeper has two options: go short, try and play out the back, or go long to forwards. Right?
Oh, right. Yes.
We don't have a great option if Lloris needs to go long. We don't have we have options to consistently keep the ball in our possession.
I'll be honest with you. I don't like playing it long unless it's a counter attack because the quickest way to go from our goal to another goal always is a long pass. Always. It's just science. It's maths. But you only want to do that if the other team are all drawn into your area. So now the counter's on. If we're just going to do it playing out from the back normally, it's just we might as well just give possession of the ball back to the other team and say, look, here you go, come at us again. Because we haven't. You're like you said, we ain't got the players for it.
Yeah, but I felt like when we had under peak Pochettino, when we had Wanyama, we had Dembele in those positions. We also had Walker, is a very physical player. We could go long quite often, and very often we could very often sustain attacks by doing that. So when teams did press us, we were more than happy to just go long. And keep the ball alive that way. But now I feel like I don't know whether it's we're too weak physically or we don't have the right player profile. But I feel like when we go long, the ball just comes back us immediately, and that's it.
When we had those players, Sim, we were better at everything.
That's also true.
we were getting to regular semi-finals, league title challenges, top four. It was a different ball game. Now it's those days. We miss those days.
Super chat from Siraj0414. Big up to you. Thank you for the chat. It says, keep it going, Stel. Not many fans can watch the game and at the same time analyse the game tactically. The Spurs not ready for Champions League. With the exception of a few, we lack the football basics, intelligence and winning mentality.
I 100% agree, buddy. I agree with you.
I saw a tweet the other day. I think it was from, I don't know if you know him on Twitter.
Thanks for the
Harry,
super chat as well, by the way.
His name was Harry B. Coach or something. He's on Twitter. You might have seen him. And he was saying he is astounded by the amount of money we've spent and the lack of technical ability we have in the squad. Like who has real proper who don't lack any of the fundamental basics and technical ability. Like when you look at the squad, Alpha, even of our strongest 11, who in the squad do you feel is lacking technical ability, like a consistent first touch, consistent long pass range, like these kind of things. A lot of players we do lack these basic things.
You know, a player is technically good. One, when they're always calling for the ball. I want it. Yeah, free. I'm free. Two, they're just calm. They're just a smooth operator. You look at Bentancur, he's just calm on the ball. Berbatov, calm on the ball.
He knows his own ability.
Yeah, confident in what. Yeah. And the other one is when they move with the ball, are they panicking? Right. Watch Winks or Ben Davies when they drive forward the ball. They look a bit panicky. Do they look like they're comfortable and, I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going with this.
Especially Sanchez, he definitely looks extremely panicked.
Sanchez looks like he's about to get hit by a bus and he doesn't know how to get out of the way of the bus.
He's probably the worst in the squad at that kind of thing.
He's not a very smart player. But then you look at Bentancur, Son, when they start travelling with the ball, you think they just glide. That's when you know you've got a player that's technically good. That's probably a fair comment what that chap on Twitter said. We do lack players with technical ability.
Yeah, and we're never going to...
But decision making as well, Sim. The two most important qualities of a player isn't just technical ability. You can have all the skill and talent in the world like Ndombele. What's your decision making like? Well, if you're not prepared to run, what's the point of having the technique? If you're not
Agreed.
prepared to make the right pass at the right time, what's the point of all that skill?
The problem is, when you're in the Premier League, you probably need both. That's the thing.
That's my point. To be a good player, the two fundamentals are, and actually this is in the a lot of the coaching courses, they call it the England DNA. Excellent technical players that make excellent footballing decisions. That is the foundation blocks of a truly great player. And if you look at all the greatest players in the world, Zidane, Ronaldinho, Cruyff, Pelé, Maradona, in recent times, Ronaldo, Messi, all of them, brilliant technically, brilliant decision makers.
You need to marry both.
Yes.
Usually,
Yeah.
I think Tottenham at the moment. I think we lack a few players, even like in the squad. Like right back, we don't have both of them lack massively technically.
It's the weakest part of our team, isn't it? The right back. Both are crap. And even when we try something different like Tanganga, he falls apart now.
Centre mid, I think, like of players who are like very good technically. I would say only Bentancur and maybe Skip. I'll put maybe Skip in there. I think he's pretty good technically.
Yeah, Skip's good.
Winks and Højbjerg, I think, are lacking. Like I think we have Kane and Son. I think Lucas is pretty good, but like sometimes he can be very inconsistent with it, like with his first touch.
Those 2 points we made, technique and decision making. Lucas lacks on the decision making.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what keeps him from being a top player.